Cultivating Conversations back. How you guys doing today?
Hey y'all. Am I still lagging on your phone?
Mm-hmm.
So do you want me to come out and come back in?
Yeah, you can.
All right.
Getting everything fixed up for the podcast.
Hi y'all. Happy Black History Month.
Can't believe it's February 1st. First month of college, first month of 2022 went by so fast.
I know it really did though.
Hey,
but
Kiana.
I'm happy though. I'm ready for this month and I'm ready. Hey, Kiana.
Happy about what?
I'm happy that this is finally February because I love this month.
Why do you love February? And don't say because Black History Month. Give me another reason.
Because wait, can you see me on Instagram?
It's lagging.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know.
I told you to close the hotspot.
Yeah, we might have to do Facebook then.
Hey, you might have to.
Okay, I think we're gonna do that probably.
Okay, that's cool.
They said that we sound good on Instagram though. Hi, y'all. We're just trying to make sure that we get the Instagram right.
What about like my haircut?
So they keep another thumbs up in the chat. Do I sound okay? Like, am I lagging on there? Hey, everybody. I'm waiting for Dave to say something because he's the one hearing it. So if I sound fine to him, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah, if it's going back and forth normal, then it doesn't matter.
It doesn't really matter. Okay. Hi, y'all. Welcome to another episode of Cultivating Conversation with DP Squared.
DP Squared.
Yep. Dave says I'm good, so I'm just going to
cool
with that. Okay. Welcome to DeAndre's campus terrible Wi-Fi. That's why he's always blurry.
Sorry about that. I can't see it. So don't blame me, but I do apologize. We're going to get better connection. I'm going to give me a nice little Ethernet cord for the next week. Everything should be crystal clear. No mistakes.
Yeah. No, but it'll clear up, so we're fine.
It'll clear up. But can we talk about the main topic today?
Right. We're talking about audio and all this.
Wait. Okay. I was talking. Can we talk about the main topic today? Something serious. First day of the month. I have a new haircut.
Are you?
Do y'all see a hat on top of my head? Yes or no? I told you I was going to come into the podcast with no cut. I'm going to get the waves back in action.
You know what?
I'm here. I'm really here.
Because you knew you had to come correct for this month. That's probably why. I even wore my shirt today.
Black hair been popping.
Right. See, I had to come correct.
I don't see no hair though.
Y'all see me on Instagram. What? Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Where is it? You're not showing it.
You are so disrespectful.
Where's the hair?
It's in. I mean, I don't have that much right now. It's short. It's just in a little slick back. Dang.
You got the same cut.
Okay, you know what? Let's just move on. So yeah, we really wanted to use the start of the month to reflect. Of course, looking back into the past, honoring those who came before us and all of that they put into trying to create a better life for themselves, but also making sure that we have our vision going forward so that we can be able to build a legacy for ourselves and something that they will be proud of, we wanted to, because they work so hard, and even our parents now and people's grandparents and everyone before that, they do what they had to do so that we could do what we want to do. So this podcast is really just dedicated to giving some suggestions on how you could really use this month to get inspired and motivated to create a better life for yourself in any capacity. But we're just talking about what we view.
On the half glass empty side, nobody really wants to hear that anymore either.
What part? The past, you mean?
You heard that since pre-K until 12th grade.
Yeah. No, that's
it's not
true.
That we don't acknowledge the past or what happened, but we have to always acknowledge the future too.
Yeah.
What we can do to make things better for ourselves.
Yeah.
They set up so often not finish it.
Yeah, we want to create more history so that years later there'll be so many more stories to add on to that.
Yeah, dwelling on the past doesn't create any new ideas, new things. Always thinking about what happened back then.
Yeah.
It's not effective to us as of right now because things are changing. But we always keep that in the back of our heads because you don't want to forget what made you or what made us.
Yeah, and you don't want to forget because our society like tries to forget what they did. So it's our job to still tell people about what happened back then, but also to
spin it in a more positive light for the people now, people like us.
Because I was even thinking when I was talking to our mom, she was well, not even really. I kind of thought about this on my own, but we were talking about how her dad was born in 1919, and I was like, dang. She would say how he only had a middle school education, and I was saying I graduated college in 2019, so it's like 100 years exactly from when he was born. And I thought that was just so crazy, just to show one, the progress, and that person's hard work, or even, you know, both families, but like really just showing that he had to sacrifice a lot to maybe just get to survive daily, but to see that 100 years later that his grandchild was able to graduate from a great college, that just shows you, that's just one great example of just how much progress that we're making, or that we have to do our part to really try to make them proud. Does that make sense?
Yeah, people think that was such a long time ago.
Yeah.
1919, that was 103 years ago.
Yeah,
102, basically, whatever you want to say. Yeah. That's not that long ago.
Right.
It's really not. And people think that the history is just so forgettable because of the lengthiness behind it, but that's not far back at all. To understand that you were alive when our grandfather was alive and he was born so long ago. That's right there. You know?
And I thought that was just super cool, and it kind of made me proud. Just felt like I was doing my part in the history book, and like, you know, in my family's like history.
And we don't even think about that a lot. Well, I can say that let me say that for myself. I don't really think about that a lot, the progression that both of us have made for the people prior to us. And I think that we should, honestly, like just reflect on the things maybe your ancestors did for you, the ones that maybe you know personally, and maybe ask them one day, what did they go through for you to live like this now?
Yeah,
it's definitely extensive,
especially for a lot of immigrant children, or people who have like parents or grandparents who came here from other places, and what they had to sacrifice for them to be in the position that they're in today. Because you know how they always say, like, you carry you're like standing on your ancestors' shoulders, because you're like you know, like they had to try to do things in the past and to build you up to where you are now.
Yeah, we as a community don't. Go ahead, my bad.
No, go ahead.
I said we as a community don't value that as much. We don't value the history that we made.
Yeah.
And obviously, like we said, we're not trying to go into history lesson about that or anything. But now that we're talking about it, only a few minutes in, I'm thinking every day that I wake up, I don't really acknowledge that part of my life, and we really should. It's super important to understand that about yourself and that about your family, the struggle they went through. You can have your feelings in them or whatever you want about personally about now, how you feel about them. But you still have to respect that aspect of their life, of what it took to really be who you are, or for you to be here right now. That's
I feel like it's everyone's duty to do something more than what the generation before them did. And it could be the smallest thing. It could be even if you like go to therapy, or you try to like go to school, or if you just get the job you really wanted or or just trying a little harder in some area of your life. That's making progress. That's helping.
And utilizing that.
Someone said Michener's rock. Yes, they do. Shout out to
the that aspect of your life should be glorified and shown off, because it's what made us today. So I think that's awesome. That could be something that we could work on as a family, as the people watching, to understand that part of your life is important to you now, probably more than anything. And like just doing the therapy and taking advantage of the opportunities that we have now, that we didn't have before. The smallest things, just being able to do the smallest things. Always have that pride on your shoulder that you earned this. That you shouldn't feel less because you don't feel like you should be doing this, or someone is telling you shouldn't be able to do this. Be proud of the people before you that took that risk when you don't feel as confident.
Because even with us, I mean, who's to say that 50 or 40 years ago that Black youth or could be entrepreneurs and have a podcast, or be able to share on major platforms.
Mhm.
That's not
Our
something that
stories,
we've been able to
no,
do.
not
But
at
it's the
all.
smallest like things you don't even think about.
That are
That
super impactful
yeah,
to
yeah, I
current day
agree.
life.
Yeah,
That's super helpful. Just to have in your mind on a day-to-day basis.
Mm-hmm.
You
No,
know.
I agree. I
Mhm.
agree. Because another thing that I tried to start doing too was like saving. And I feel like that's not.
Mhm.
It's kind of weird. It's like, why are you bringing up saving? But I
Mhm.
just feel because a lot of oftentimes, and it's not by choice, but a lot of the generational wealth is not even existent. It's
It's
kind of like
not.
not sometimes,
It's
you know,
not.
it's like it's generation after generation, and you're just trying to get by sometimes, or you might
Mhm.
have more, you care more about materialistic things and not assets, like actual
Mhm.
assets that you can pass
That can
down.
hold wealth, can
Yeah,
hold this money.
yeah,
Yeah, a lot of people don't think that way because they weren't shown it. They weren't taught that. Their
right,
parents didn't have that. Some people were living day-to-day lives.
right.
And me and you, people that are watching the younger generation, maybe your parents do have that generational wealth, but a lot of us don't.
Mm-hmm.
And we are the ones that can create that for
Yeah,
the people under us, our family that is going through those situations now, living day to day. Because people
yeah,
live like that all the time. But
yeah.
do you actually save though, or you capping?
I do. I actually do. I save a part of my paycheck every time I get paid. So
Yeah,
like
that's super smart.
bi-weekly, just a small portion, because
Mhm.
I feel a lot of people will say that that is not feasible to put money aside, because it is true. Like sometimes you have to use your whole paycheck, and like I'm
Mhm.
not trying to be oblivious or naive about that situation, but it could be something as small as $20, and you'll literally
Mhm.
see it stack up over time.
Yeah.
So, because that's what I do.
In my instance, it's hard for me to save. It really is. When I get paychecks over the summer jobs,
Mm-hmm.
you see that money come in the bank, and you just want to blow it right
Yeah.
away.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I feel you.
But I've learned this in many classes through high school and college. As of
Mm-hmm.
now, you saving that 75% of your money and splitting it in different percentages, maybe for an emergency, or
Mm-hmm.
you can just have it in a jar. However you keep your money, maybe in an account, having that 75% that you can save, even if you, let's say you are willing, not
Mm-hmm.
just some people can, of course, but if you
Yeah.
are willing to do that and you're just spending your money freely, which you shouldn't be doing if we're really thinking about it, that money should be set aside for things that are actually needed. Because
Yeah.
there were, if I can remember correctly, we had two categories in school that our teacher wanted us to do, and it was
Mm-hmm.
needs
Oh
and
wait, yeah,
wants.
I can
Oh,
hear. I can. Is your phone down? I can hear you a little bit on
let me see.
Instagram.
No, my phone's down.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Okay, you good.
Yeah, I was saying
Sorry to cut
too
you off.
back about the needs and wants of life, and we were
Mm-hmm.
just writing down, the needs, these basic water, food, housing,
Yeah.
and at the end of the thing, it's 100 wants and a few needs,
Mm.
and all your money is being spent on all those wants. And of course, you have to think in a societal standard that you can't just
Mm-hmm.
live off water, food, and housing. You can, but no one's living like that.
Yeah. No,
So
I
we
agree.
just have to understand, facilitate your money correctly can then create that wealth that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Having that rule set up in your mind that maybe if I do set this aside, keep it over there just for that moment, just in case down the road,
Mm-hmm.
it'll completely stack up. Even with investments today, people are making money in all types of ways, Deja.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It's money everywhere. It's no way in this world. Of course, I'm speaking
Like broad.
optimistically,
Yeah,
right?
you are.
Broad,
Like
like
yeah.
optimistically, but it's no way that money cannot be produced in your favor. You can find your little thing and then go with it. We found our little thing, we're going with it. It's ways to
Yeah.
make money, it's ways to do things to then put yourself on that platform in the forefront of everything.
Yeah, it is.
And if we understand that, then you unlock that key for yourself. Money, they say it's the root of evil, but it also is the root of success in the America, at least. So
Yeah.
you have to think like that.
Because I did see, I was looking at quotes earlier, and I saw it was like a Samuel L. Jackson quote, and he said something like, he said something. If someone tells you that money doesn't bring you happiness, that means they don't have none, or something like that.
It's only right though.
Yeah, I'm saying that to only say that it will in the future if you really like stack up. Then
Right.
you will, because you're going to have more financial freedom. That's
right.
Just what
Financial
it is.
freedom gives you anything you want, and we can be on here and tell lies, or we can really tell the truth. We know that money can bring you almost whatever that you want.
Yeah, it can, and
it really can.
I feel like you have to think selflessly when you
have it.
Think about the generations after you, because some people would just say they want to spend their money in their lifetime and just move on, but you have to think selfless and know that you want to set up your family properly.
You have to. That motivation should be, well, if I didn't have it, I want the person next to me to have it.
Yeah,
that's what you say. That 25% can be for you, but remember that 75% is for everybody after you.
Yes,
that can really create a legacy for countless lives to come. That's really the importance. This is about the impact you make after your life, not while you're in it. That's really the truth. It's just, you will be remembered for the things you did after, not what you did. Well, not what you did now. That's the honest truth. That's what I believe.
I agree.
That's what I believe.
Yeah, and speaking on like the entrepreneurship tip, what I love seeing these days is that so many people are trying to have something of their own.
Everybody,
like whatever it is,
everybody.
Like, it don't matter what it is, but everyone's trying to have something.
Create everything.
Yeah.
And it's always space to create. I love clothes, and I just love expressing myself through that. And there's so many people that have started making brands, being under fashion, moving to places where their heart is content. And that's with anything. How I said before, with us, we found something that we love to do, and we're doing all different kind of outlets with it. We're finding better ways to express ourselves to the people around us, and so many people are doing that as well, creating businesses out of things that they love that you may have never thought they cared about.
Yeah,
it's nice to see. It is nice to see.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think that is? Like, why do you think it's been a huge? Because even me, I've been really trying to be intentional where I spend my money too. I feel like that's a good point to make as well. Being intentional with where you shop. So if you know, like, if you know a person who does nails, like, you should want to let them do your nails instead of maybe going to the shop. Or if you looking to like get your makeup done or something, instead of going to MAC, you can go to someone that you know who's trying to get their business started. Like, don't you think it's like important to put money into our communities? Because we have a lot of spending power, but a lot of our money doesn't go into our community.
It doesn't. And I think that goes hand in hand with people not understanding. People don't understand the professionalism of people trying to get to that level. They'd rather spend their money on billion-dollar companies. And of course, we're both victim to that.
Yeah.
Doing that, everyone is. But
shout out to Rihanna. That's on my lip.
Yeah. Rihanna as well. But when you see people that are really trying to make something out of what they're doing, you shouldn't think of it as a quick buck, or they're just trying to get over you.
Yeah.
You would spend that $40 at a billion-dollar company or your friend down the street. People would do that any day.
Yeah.
So sometimes I don't understand why when people ask, why is the price of something so much when someone's trying to sell their brand to you?
Yeah.
And you would never question that for a brand that's already solidified. But you have to understand, and even I had to understand this too. You look at things and the price is $2,000 for a white shirt, but the creator, that's what he or she or them says values it at. If that's what you value it at, you don't let anyone tell you that that's not what the value of what you are doing is. And there are people in this world that will pay that price.
Yeah,
you have to find them. And if someone's questioning you, saying it shouldn't be this much, or I don't think your product or whatever you're doing is worth that, who are they to tell you what you're doing is worth?
And even if it is a little more, I mean, like you said, no one questions how much like Urban Outfitters charges or something.
They might say, oh, this is so much. I mean, this is so expensive, and they'll still buy it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's because that's helping that person create generational wealth for their selves. Like, You should want to do that for people because these other companies already have enough money. So it's like, why?
Mm-hmm. That brand could be family business for the rest of everyone's lives.
Yeah, because because I feel back, even if we, like we were saying, looking into the past, like if you look back in the past, a lot of Black people had their own businesses, and one, it was because they had no choice, of course, because they weren't able to. They weren't able to shop.
But think about that. They had to create their own brand, but who was feeding that community? The same people that looked like them.
Yeah, you're right.
That just popped up in my head. It's the same thing with everything else. But go ahead.
Yes, I was just saying you could take a page out of that book. We know that it wasn't necessarily by choice at that time, but now we could flip it and be intentional about trying to do that again, like really trying to feed into keep our dollars in our community is basically what I'm trying to say.
Which is super important.
It is.
Because our community is what lifts us up.
That's all we have at the end of the day.
We see a lot of times now they trying to run us out this joint, but sticking together is what. And I was in class. We were talking about this. Probably the first week of school. People don't understand how important, like how powerful people standing together is.
You're right.
If you see, and a lot of times people that bond together and stand up for what they believe is right is way powerful than money. When that happened with the trial with the guy whose brakes shut off and he had accidentally killed those people in the truck. Remember that? And the truck drivers were not moving, and they were all on like that highway or on the side, just saying they wouldn't move until the case was. Like it was because he got so many years.
Oh no, I didn't know about that.
You don't know about that? Yeah,
I know about the story, but I didn't know about that part.
Yeah, truck drivers were boycotting their company, saying they wouldn't deliver whatever they had because it was so egregious and outrageous the ruling that was given in the court. And you have to think. I'm thinking those big billion-dollar companies can't do anything with people that the laborers, the workers, and the people that are driving their product. So people standing together is a lot stronger than we realize. Having people on your side.
Yeah, they don't want you to. Someone said in the Black community we have to use our money as power. Know how to market your product. That's exactly what we're saying. Exactly. And shout out to Stephanie. Hey, Stephanie. Yeah, but I definitely Shanika said generational wealth. Exactly. But I agree with you. But they want you to feel like you don't have that though. Like they don't want you to know that that's possible because and it is hard for people to play around with like their salary and stuff because those people could have jeopardized their jobs. We understand that. But it's just it's bigger than all of us. It's like the bottom line.
We're talking more on the premise. We know people have their own individual lives.
Yeah.
But if people listening or watching were to understand what they could potentially do with the money that they earn to then set themselves up, a lot of people live in the now. But I'm just trying to grasp maybe 10 years ago, if you set aside that money, where could you have been at today?
Yeah. No, I agree. Definitely. Because I had to stack my money back up to like create a savings account, a bigger savings account for myself. So it's plenty of times when I'm on websites and I want to buy that one thing, but I don't because I'm trying to think in the future. Or even if it's treating yourself to a nice vacation. A lot of people haven't even been out of the States, out of the country. Like you want to create those memories for yourself. And it's not that expensive if you think about what you laughing at.
I'm thinking back in middle school, we used to go to Virginia across the bridge when we were younger, and they were like, "Oh, you never been to DC?" They like, "Been to DC?" Like they haven't even left their city. So you saying that people have really not left their city. People say they go to DC as like it's a field trip when it's 10 minutes away.
I know.
When we saying that, but you were just saying how doing things like people are really stuck where they are, and I think they lose their mind doing that as well.
And sometimes people mentally don't think it's feasible, but like I was just saying, if you set the money aside or you decide not to buy that pair of shoes, that like a pair of shoes, two or three pairs of shoes could be a flight to a certain place. So you could have spent that money on like a flight to really enjoy life, or even if it's like to drive to, I don't know, to a nice like ski trip or something. I'm just saying, whatever. But it's not as impossible or far-fetched as people might think.
And I think this jump backs to podcast number 2. When we was doing the laws.
Yeah.
Go watch that if you haven't. You can go watch that again if you like.
Oh yes.
I was just saying because you know how we were talking about the future and the things like about the laws and doing things for the future and not as the now. It's not easy to think about the future, especially when you have the money right in front of you.
Yeah.
And as being a young Black person, we value so many other things that won't be as valuable in the future.
Yeah.
I know that a lot of us see maybe. I don't want to say.
Don't generalize it. Just kind of.
I don't want to generalize it. I just want to. I would say I'm just gonna say like the white counterparts that we see are using that money for things they see down the future, and we question.
Like some people,
we question why they are set up for generations, but they are, of course, everyone buys stuff in the now, but I just feel like even within my life, when I see the money, I go get it.
Yeah, and just to preface, there's lots of reasons why they are definitely able to do that as opposed to us.
Exactly.
So we understand that part. We're just talking about the things that maybe we have control over in the moment. Right. A lot of the reasons why it's like that is from the systemic racism, and we know that for a fact. Like that's a whole. We're not going to dismiss that because if it was a level playing field, things might have been different.
You talk about that for an hour.
Like that's racism. Whole, and I didn't even want to make that a major topic because we're trying to.
But it does connect.
No, it definitely does connect. It definitely connects. It definitely connects. I just wanted to look at this month in a new light and really encourage and promote and suggest to people that they could use this month to be intentional, like really be intentional as you're reflecting through what has happened in the past to really make sure that you could, like I said, build the legacy that you would not only be proud of, but you don't want everything people went through to be for nothing.
Yeah.
And that's just what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, the opposite of that, when we're talking about into like racism, I don't want that to drag us down to feel that we cannot.
Like it'll never change kind of thing.
Like it'll never change. Of course, it's still going on. We all understand it. We understand what has happened to set us up. We were set up for failure. That's the honest truth. But we shouldn't allow that in the now. It does, but you have to mentally what I'm trying to is just allowing it to fuel you to get to a point where you don't feel like you're living under that. You're always going to, but it's just more of a mental thing. You don't want to think like you have the money, you have the wealth, you can set up your life for success, and you're thinking, well, the odds are already against me, so it won't work in the future. And I just don't want people to have to think about that for
mentality.
Themselves. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, because you can't enjoy life. Right. You can't enjoy life when you feel that way about everything.
Right. You can't always feel that way.
Yeah.
Even though that's what you have to understand. It may be true, but you don't have to always feel that way about what's happened to you.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely want to make sure that I didn't wear my shirt today because I wanted to show my Black History shirt. You know.
Watch your hand too.
What you mean?
In the
sorry. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned it though. I was just saying I didn't wear my shirt today because I wanted to plug my thing, but not to plug, but I wanted to remind people that they could purchase a shirt for $25 because all the money goes back into the community. So we want to make sure that we could do our part. And that's the major way that we raise money. So I just want to definitely let people know if y'all want to DM us, we have our Instagrams here.
Right here.
Yeah.
Kung Fu Draft. You see.
But before we get out of here, do you have anything that you would like to plug? I do have one thing, but I'll let you go first.
Yeah, I have one thing as well. I would like to plug everyone I don't know if anyone here has checked out the TikTok. Cultivating Conversations.
I'll put it in here. If you have TikTok,
check out Cultivating Conversations. We have all the clips that we have from the podcast that we talk about. Could be 10 seconds, could be a minute, 3 minutes.
I'm gonna
check it out. You can save those videos to your phone. So give a like, give a follow. We do put a lot of effort into everything we do, and
shout out to DeAndre. He definitely does a lot with the TikTok, and it's an easy way to share like clips
clips and things that we thought were important that we said.
Yeah,
It helps.
definitely.
It helps just getting the word out because we
Yeah.
love you guys and people will continue to
Mhm.
love us.
I just want to say one thing. Since this is Black History Month, if anybody has a business, which I guess is considered a small business, because if you're just like the owner of it or something, or you have a small group, definitely put it in the comments or like DM us what it is, and we want to share with other people so that people can know about what you do. And if you have certain services or certain things you want to sell, I want everybody to know about it, because it takes a lot of work and you have to put a lot of passion into it, and sometimes you don't see your efforts. You don't see like the results right away. So it's nice when people support.
Always stay afloat. Never give up.
Yeah.
Giving up is just another setback.
Because if
you don't see the results now, you'll see them later.
No, I agree. Because if you're doing it like because it's your passion, then I was just trying to make sure I put this in Facebook. Okay. Yeah. So definitely, if you have something to plug, I'll just leave a couple of like 30 seconds or so for people to do that if they would like. So yeah, because we want to make sure that everybody can.
I could do a show about that too.
Yeah, we can definitely, because we're gonna brainstorm some small business owners and have them on here so that they can also plug what they have and do, because they're doing something positive. And you can also add the comments after we go off the broadcast as well.
Add it in the live or send us both a message on Instagram. We always respond. We not like that. So
yeah, for sure.
Don't be scared to send it.
For sure. So I was gonna say one. Oh yeah, well, DeAndre's a busy college student, so we are going to get out of here. But I thank you all so much for always joining and listening to us. And
I love doing this, can't lie.
All that, yeah, like
I do enjoy doing this.
Yeah, so DeAndre's gonna make sure that he gets some better video quality next time.
Hopefully it was all right. Was it all right?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Like it goes in and out, but they can still hear you. So that's the main part. We don't want to see your face anyway. So we will see everybody next Tuesday, and happy Black History Month. Be nice to a Black person this month, every month, literally.
Every month Black History Month.
Do something extra.
Do something extra.
But we will see y'all later.
Close Event Conversations out.